New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
All right, what's going on? This is Jay Ellis from Knick Of Time Show here, giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time, and it's time to talk about Knicks loss to the Pistons. Knicks did not close out the Pistons in Game 5. We lose 106 to 103, and we're gonna talk about it all: the good, the bad, the ugly. There was a lot of ugly. Still a lot of chances to win this game though. But before we talk about it, I'm gonna introduce you to my guy, the Latin assassin, ESPN contributor, Bleacher Report contributor, Lee Escobedo. What's going on, Lee?
Man, this whole season when I was young and tough shit would happen, had a rough childhood, I had this ability to compartmentalize and be very stoic and then feel it later when I was on my own. This whole season has been a long practice of that. I haven't let the losses build up too much in me. Today, I'm feeling not only today's loss, every loss from this regular season. I'm allowing myself to feel it because I wanted to wait for the playoffs to really make heads or tails of what I thought should happen overall from the front office down. This one was tough. This was winnable. Not only winnable, it's a game I thought we really should have win, and we let it slip away. Some things that were unfortunate, beyond our control, like injuries, some tactical stuff, but also just that extra, gear that we should have switched into that you can't quantify. It just is, right? It's just like magic part of basketball. But I'm very glad that I have you in the chat to talk to you about this. Because if I was alone, man, dark days.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to get to the events that happened in the fourth quarter because you can't talk about this game without talking about those events. But let's talk about how we got there in the first place. I felt like after the Game 2 loss, the Knicks kind of found a recipe that I felt like we went away from this game, and we shown that in the last two games, but we didn't show it this game. We didn't play with any pace to start with. We wasn't moving the ball to start with. It seems like our offense was stuck in mud, and we really, we really kind of reverted back to old habits of kind of just dribbling the air out the ball and not moving players and your man to get things open and clean shots. And despite not doing what we're supposed to do, we were still in this game. We're still in the game for most of this game. And then the third quarter happens, and it's like, all right, we have to buckle down. And it felt like we mentally let go of the rope. We got, Jalen Brunson, who's our captain, who's the guy who he does the most for us, who he was like 1 for 7 in the first half. Third quarter, he gets a technical foul. He gets a tech call on him for complaining about a non-call from the ref. Now, was the refs have some crazy calls today? Yes. Was that frustrating for me to watch? Yes. But we are a veteran team. We're in the playoffs. This is a big moment. We gotta be a little bit more poised than that. And Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and those guys have talked about being poised in those moments and not losing it to the refs. We lost our head for a good 5 minutes in that third quarter. And I think that's like the only quarter where we lost the scoring battle. And we can't allow those lapses to happen like that, because as close as these games have been, you just can't let that. We can't let it go. So as badly as we played, as horribly as we ran the offense in the first half, as badly as we lost our head in the third quarter, we were still in this game. We were still in this game, and yes, there were some unfortunate things that happened in the fourth quarter. That having two players be injured on one play with only 2 timeouts left is probably the most unluckiest thing that can happen in a playoff game. And exactly when it happened. It sucked having to, watch the team kind of have to try to figure out a fly campaign, and Deuce McBride has to close because Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart or the scores table waiting. Mikal Bridges has his chance, to make some shots. He took the shots. They kind of rimmed in it out. That's the point of the game where you you want to have Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart in the game. Then the coach has to burn a timeout to get them back in the game, leaving us with only one timeout left. It made that injury made it really difficult to manage the game, and yet we were still in the game. So tough loss of tactical reasons, for Knicks reasons, for dumb luck reasons, all wrapped into one. This is a tough one to swallow.
I'm struggling, bro. It's tough, man. I think the way that the game was officiated definitely impacted the Knicks' ability to get into any kind of rhythm. They got suckered in a little bit too in the second and third quarters and try and get into a transition game with Detroit that I thought was a bad move because Detroit thrives in motion. And in the transition game, the Knicks need to have a grind it out and really get set in the half court in order for their offense to be fluid. I mean, they're a team that really requires plays being ran for every person except for Cat and Brunson. In order for those guys to get rhythm, those other two can get on their own. Brunson was absolutely awful tonight. Not
Yeah.
just the shots. I thought the way that he orchestrated the game hurt everyone else that he shared the court with. Thought he really over dribbled a lot tonight. He
Yeah.
seemed to focus on foul baiting Thompson, which I thought was another mistake. I thought at some point Tibbs should have reined that in, and he didn't. So it was Brunson at his worst. He did come through with some clutch moments, as we know he would in the fourth quarter. But overall, the way that he table set today, I thought was the number one reason that we lost, more so than any type of lack of substitutions by Tibbs or putting McBride in instead of Mitch to close, which I thought was a mistake. After Josh Hart got injured, not having more Mitch in the early third, not having more Mitch late in the fourth, I thought Mitch should have closed. Personally, he was playing so well, and we were so advantageous with him. The score was going up, or we would take the lead or cut the deficit when Mitch was on the floor every time he came in. He was the MVP. Reason why he was my X factor for this series is because he knows how to dominate Bernie Bickerstaff, JB Bickerstaff's teams. And we didn't use him to full effect, even though he was ready. He seemed like he wasn't winded. So there's a lot. There's a lot to be frustrated about. And Detroit did not play well either. Cade Cunningham had a really awful game efficiency wise, and didn't really get the rest of the guys uh, in rhythm. They really got themselves in rhythm, specifically Tobias Harris, Thompson on that sharp cut where he was they ran that same play in the second half about 15 or 20 times. That side cut that Amon Thompson was being able to get basically free lane dunker spot when Cat was preoccupied or screened off of him.
Yeah.
He didn't have anyone there but Brunson or Hart, who can't defend him at the rim. So that play killed us, specifically in the fourth quarter. A lot to be frustrated with. I hope Josh Hart is okay. I hope Jalen Brunson is okay. I hate that we have to go back to Detroit and win again.
Yeah.
Difficult, man. All major challenges ahead. I think we win the series, but I don't like how banged up we are now.
Yeah, I really wanted to win this game just so we can save our legs, but we just didn't. I agree. I didn't like just the way Brunson started the game. Yo, we had success going through Towns in the first quarter. Looking for him as a trailer. Setting up his 3-point shot. Why? Like, we need to get back to that, man. Like, let's get the ball movement, get Towns going from 3 as a trailer. That's been working for us. We haven't gone back to that. OG Anunoby had it going a little bit. Maybe we go to him a little bit more. That's something we didn't execute with. Mitch had a great game. I feel like there's a little bit of a learning curve happening in real time with Mitch because he hasn't played that much minutes with the starters. They're giving him the ball in like weird positions that he's not used to having. Like they're passing the ball to him like he's Hartenstein and he's not Hartenstein.
Right.
And like as good as he played, I feel like because they were passing to him like he was Hartenstein, that caused a few turnovers in that third quarter. As good as Mitch is playing, like you got to just throw him lobs. They was giving them balls on the move kind of low. There has to be like more lobs, less low bounce passes at his knees and stomach for Mitch. And you know, and the only reason the last Infinity Stone for Mitch is free throws. As good as Mitch plays all game, I think whenever it gets to a close game, you might hesitate putting Mitch in there to close because they can do a hack of Mitch, and now you're like, damn, you gotta rely on you make 2 free throws in a row, and it makes it a little difficult. Just like, all right, Mitch, you're playing awesome, close for us, you know. Like he has to get better at that for us to trust him at the end of those games. But I pretty much agree
Well,
with everything else you said.
I understand that, and I think Bickerstaff was trying to do a little bit of that hack a Mitch uh, strategy. I think what he gives you outweighs that risk. Once he's set, they really attack Karl-Anthony Towns and drop. And I thought Towns did a decent job, but that's where they excel is getting downhill. Thompson, even Beasley, and Cade all got going from the mid range in with Karl-Anthony Towns at the 5 and Mitch on the bench. And I think if Mitch had been out there, they wouldn't have even tried those shots, and they would have had to stay east to west opposed to north to south and try to brick threes, which would have played to our advantage. Then we can get out with the Josh Hart, those long rebounds. So I definitely 100% thought Mitch should came in when Hart got injured and not McBride. That's a Tibbs mistake. But overall, throughout the capacity of a series, I think Tibbs has done a masterful job coaching this team and having a game plan that remained malleable and flexible from game to game. We saw the only time it really faltered completely was game 2. I wouldn't say that it faltered completely this game. This game was a lot about missing shots. Brunson and Cat and Bridges missing a lot of shots. Where after the first quarter, who's our leading scorer? Mitch? Like that just shows you
Yeah.
how inefficient the players were in the schemes that are being ran for them. They were missing shots they usually make, especially Jalen Brunson. Shout out OG and Bridges for being clutch when it mattered at the end. But to me, this was less about Tibbs' scheming and more about shooting efficiency from the entire team.
I mean, efficiency for sure has a lot to do with it. I wonder if Brunson's ankle is bothering him. He's not getting the lift. Like he comes back in the game, he wins the game for us, and it's like you wonder how much of that is adrenaline, you know, because the game's already started. You're coming back in. You need these points to close it. It goes off. You wonder how much of that is adrenaline. Um, like even today, like when Brunson came back in the game in the fourth quarter, he was a decoy. He was a decoy. Like he was in the game, but the plays were for Bridges. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you just worry about Brunson long term in this series as the longer it goes. So but yeah, like at the end of the day though, I still feel like I don't like the way that I don't like the lack of ball movement in the first quarter in particular.
Yeah.
I think we need to reset, get back to what was working for us in the third and fourth games 3 and 4 with the ball movement. And not over rely on ISO from Brunson. Get Cat some trailing threes like before. Get some stops and take that to Detroit because that's to me is when we had success. One last thing too, I noticed we've lost the rebounding battle most nights. Today we win the rebounding battle 61-60. And for the last game, I don't think that's Mitch played a lot more minutes today. I don't think that is a coincidence. I feel like the games where we were kind of like close in rebounding at halftime is because Mitch played in that first half. And then the games where we lose the rebounding battle, it's like, all right, Mitch didn't play that much in the second half. We still found a way to edge out the win, but we lost the rebounding battle. So it's like we still have some finagling to do on when to use Mitch, get the rebounding battle going, moving the ball, get the offenses flowing with Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitch at the same time. We still have some things to figure out on the fly with those guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's just, I do want to say they're absolutely agree in the incorrect shift in game plan there is blame for sure to go on Tom Thibodeau in game management in the last 4 minutes after, or a little bit less than that, after both Brunson and Hart got injured. But I do think it's a little knee jerk and emotional to start blaming Tibbs right now. I don't think we're there yet. If this goes game 7, fire him. There's absolutely no way we should lose next game. But to blame him overall this series after a bad quarter when the first 3 were not about steams, it was about missing shots, to me is incorrect.
You think it was his fault once Brunson and Josh got injured? His hands was kind of tied at that point.
That's the moment I think Mitchell Robinson should came back in the game. That's the error that I'm saying. What I see through my eyes, but I'm not going to take that one error and say that this whole game and the whole series is Tibbs' fault, because I see it happening in the chat. I'm already seeing it on Twitter. People now are back to the loud chorus of fire Tibbs, get rid of Tibbs, don't get another coach who was fired for bad steams and Taylor Jenkins. None of that. Just remain calm and don't be overly emotional in how you react to things. It's okay to be sad and be frustrated, but let's not let the pendulum swing so far one way or the other. Let's try to keep some monochrome of rationality here. Okay. This game was not Tibbs' fault that we lost. Majority of it is missed shots we usually make.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and to me, that Mitch thing, that's actually a debate to me. To me, I don't think that's such a clear-cut decision just because of the hack of Mitch. You know they're going to hack Mitch in the fourth quarter. Like, you know it. Like, you know it's going to be K to the rim, Knicks inbound, hack Mitch. I mean, like it could definitely be that. Or maybe they'll be scared to do that. Maybe they won't do that because they don't want to lay JB back in the game, I guess. That could be something too. I don't know. That's a tough call.
Even worse than the Tates I'm seeing of fire Tibbs after this loss, the predicate, bro, that saying Tibbs should have put in Tyler Tolik to close the game is like, bro,
no.
What?
No.
What? To even think that is like a rational option to do, like, bro, that is like, that might be the worst take I've heard all year. And I appreciate you, bro. Like, you're a good dude. That might be the worst take I've heard all year. Like, maybe play him in a series when you're number 1 and you're playing number 8 that was actually number 10 and became 8 to the play-in and has a bunch of like shade players like Chicago. Maybe you play him in spot minutes. Okay. But to close game 6 with the last 2 minutes as the point guard, the most tough, difficult, challenging position on the floor, you and I see basketball very differently, bro. I'm sorry. I can't co-sign that.
Yeah, there's no way we're gonna have rookies coming in the closing minutes of a playoff game haven't played the entire time. That's just not rational at all. I mean,
I mean, look at how Detroit handles their rookies. They're leaning on their vets heavy. Ron Holland is playing spot minutes. He's ending quarters. He's playing during foul trouble, and outside of that, he's basically out the rotation. They're not depending on him, especially their close. They're leaning on their vets. Beasley, Harris, Cade, the guys that have at least have some experience in the NBA, and Tim Hardaway Jr. That's who Detroit's playing, a 7-8 man rotation. You can't expect a rookie to get that spot off a rip over Deuce or Payne to start the series. It's not realistic, man.
I agree. And you know what? I'm gonna give Cade some credit too, because I've been talking about his fourth quarter performances this entire series. The last 2 games, his fourth quarters have been a lot better. I think he scored like 12 in the fourth quarter today. Yeah. JB, this is usually his time. He didn't really do what he usually does. Like I said before, it has me questioning is that ankle right? I know the ankle isn't right, but like, how bad is it? Where it's like, okay, he's not being the usual JB you used to seeing. It's just something. I wish we ended this game tonight. I wish we ended this series tonight. I really, really wish we ended this series tonight. Because I just need our guys resting up. All right, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah. I know Ebony said she was gonna be here, but I don't know where she's at. But salute to the chat. Shout out to the Predicate, Fritz S. Parker, Mario Brown, Chi, get the year. I never heard of you before. Lucio, appreciate you being here. Mario Brown. Have I seen Mario? I don't think I've seen Mario before either. Shout out to you, Mario Brown. Sandman S. Parker. Let Me Live. JT Riddick. Loyal Opposition. Everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. If you like the conversation, hit the like and subscribe. It's a different type of tone today. We didn't even win, so we got to talk about the losses. So hopefully you appreciate the conversation. Also, shout out to the people on TikTok. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to Alejandro Rubido. And shout out to Little Seizures out there in TikTok land. If you like the show here as well, you can join us. Also, wait, there's more people. Shout out to the people who just walked in. All right. But yeah, if you guys on TikTok land, like the show, hit the follow button. We have every game talking Knicks basketball, and we'll be here the next game when we are talking Knicks versus Detroit. All right. You see any comments that really stick out to you, Lee?
Pratchett, I see you said he shouldn't close, but the point still stands. A rookie should not be playing the toughest position on the court during a playoff series in the rotation unless there's an emergency, in my opinion. And even then, it's very questionable. Me and Jay always had a conversation about who is it? Hot Porty over Precious. And he made good points, and I agreed with him. I thought maybe Hot Porty should play 5-10 minutes a series, but he made a point. This is the playoffs, not the time for a rookie mindset and rookie mistakes. You see what's happening in Detroit. Many of their turnovers are because of their youth and inexperience. So I still don't think it works. Also seeing people saying I'm not blaming Tibbs. Absolutely, Tibbs deserves responsibility for this loss, just not the majority of it, in my opinion. This game came down to guys missing shots, and I hope the JLS is wrong, that there isn't actually anything severe with Jalen Brunson's ankle or even the potential of it. I hope it was just a bad shooting game for Brunson. He bounces back out.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, guys. I know I usually have my Discord, my computer is being very weird right now. So I want to open the Discord, but for some reason, I might have to I'm gonna have to restart my laptop. That's gonna take a second. So I can try to restart my laptop, but sorry about that. But yeah, try to see. Yeah, I'm not sure. Because I see you, Washington Entertainment. Wants to get in here and talk on the Discord. Let's see, can I get it going? Yeah, we help with Ebony. Is Ebony showing up? You have anything else to say? We can go to some comments too. No, I honestly just wanna.
DBH, bro, I am cooked.
Yeah, man. I was trying to wait for Ebony.
Brutal loss.
I'm trying to wait for Ebony. I want to open Discord for the peoples, but my computer is being funny. Sorry about that. But maybe I'll definitely have it ready for the next one. I don't know why my computer's being a jerk, but freaking man, technology be technology and sometimes, you know what I mean? Salute to Felicia, who as well says KOT family, just have to prepare for the next one. Our free throw shooting needs to improve. Yeah, that's another one. That's a great point. Great point, Felicia. Felicia usually has a lot of great points. The free throw shooting, something we can control, just wasn't good. And Mitch missed. I mean, like I said, Mitch was going 1 for 2 for a lot of these free throws. But we hit free throws, we win the game. We hit McBride 0 for 2. I mean, well, McBride missed one crucial one at the end. Josh Hart 1 for 4 was something else. Karl Anthony Towns. I'm sorry. I'm reading the wrong ones. I'm sorry. Mitch Robinson 3 for 7. McBride 0 for 2. Mikal Bridges 1 for 2 in clutch moments. I think that's what it really was too. The 1 for 2 hurt us in clutch moments. McBride missing that first one hurt. Mitch missed a few. We should have did a better job at the free throw line. Overall, the rebounding matter was good too. Was better for us, but also our turnovers, man. To me, the story was really the turnovers, the lack of ball movement, the free throws, the wonky 2-for-1 injury in the fourth quarter is all the big reasons why we lost this game.
I agree. And turnovers have nothing to do with Tibbs. Missed shots have nothing to do with Tibbs. But to me, the ball movement does. The ball movement is something he can affect by actually running plays, changing what plays you're running based on what the defense is telling you, or just telling your point guard specifically to look for certain people while they're on a heater. So that I absolutely place on Tibbs's head. But the turnovers, the missed free throws, that is on the players. The missed shots, that's on the players, specifically the starting five, who outside of OG were all really bad efficiently today in terms of efficiency shooting. Mikal Bridges was absolute ass cheats, but outside of that fourth quarter when we need him, he hit 2 big threes. But for the most part, was horrific today. Even from the mid range, the shots that he usually makes, he had one in the fourth quarter I thought was going to give us the tie, and he bricked it shockingly. Brunson, for the first time, had a horrible shooting night in the fourth quarter, which makes you wonder, like, if it's not just injuries, maybe there's a level of fatigue here, a level of being worn down because of how inefficient Payne and Shaman have been, forcing that backcourt lead guard spot to be primarily Deuce and Brunson. That's a lot of usage on his knees. So
Yeah, our bench has been bad. Our bench has been
horrible.
flat out bad. Deuce, we were counting on Deuce to have a decent series. He hasn't showed up
Yep.
all series. Like
Yep.
he hasn't had 10 points all series.
He's been good defensively, but yeah, offensively horrific.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been good defensively. But what got us excited about Deuce was we have a two-way player here who can give us 10 points off the bench at least, and some good defense, and get hit threes, timely threes for us. And that just hasn't happened for us today. Like even today, like there was a couple of threes that was wide open that he missed. That could have been momentum breakers for us, and he just didn't hit them. So it was like, what happened? What happened to Deuce? Like I actually wrote that on the last game, during the last game on Twitter. I was like, what happened to Deuce? But we won the game, so I didn't really concentrate on it. But I've been wondering what's happened to Deuce over this entire series.
Yeah.
Because he's been the guy who's been ahead of schedule as far as his shot making, his moxie. He's been a guy who's been really good and not afraid of the moment. And he just hasn't shown up on the offensive side of the ball this whole series. So, yeah.
100%. And I mean, what happened to Shamit, man? He was on a little heater toward the end of the season. He's just been complete cheats on both ends of the ball, man. I feel like Tibbs lost all faith in Landry Shamit, which is disappointing because he's someone who I think to get past Boston or Cleveland, we absolutely need to be a part of the rotation and effective.
Yeah, Shamit. Ooh, sorry.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you. I feel like Shamit, after that first game, Tibbs never really went back to him. He went back to 5 minutes. He's like, okay, I'm playing you these 5 minutes. If you're not doing anything with these 5 minutes, I'm not gonna really go back to you.
Right.
And I think that's what's been happening today specifically. Though Shamit is sick. Shamit is sick, so he might have been available, but I think his lack of playing time today had to do with his illness, which is why he didn't probably get any time at all. He might have regularly just gotten 5 minutes today if he was 100%. But you just don't want to play a guy who's sick and he's already been cheeks. Just be 100%, and then come back to us for the next game at 100%.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right, yo, man. We can wrap this up. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm sorry, Ebony. I waited for you. I can't do it no more. But you guys, man, I hope you appreciate the conversation. And listen, this is, I mean, we still can go into Detroit and get this win. We just have to look ourselves in the mirror and do what we have to do, move the ball, concentrate on getting Karl Anthony Towns the ball in different spots, trailing threes. Karl Anthony Towns didn't look like he didn't have his lift today either. Like the post ups over Tobias Harris all look flat. That's very, very makeable post ups. He missed a lot of bunnies. But yeah, we need to get back to that. And we just need to get back to playing with urgency. Anybody outside of Josh Hart and freaking OG Anunoby Needs to play with urgency. I mean, you know, Cal plays with urgency on the defensive end of the ball, but like we need some shot makers and we need to move the ball. We need to play with more urgency. That's all I got right now. All right. All right, Lee's over. Got you. I feel you, man. Shout out to Keith Watkins, Nick Shack, Gregory Lee, everybody who came in a little bit late. Sorry, Ebony, we tried to wait for you, but we gotta get some sleep and get ready for Detroit. All right. You have any oohs or bros?
Bro picked to me for being too confident, saying Knicks in 5, and here we are, Knicks in 6.
Bruh.
Yeah, man. In the series, Tibbs. In the series, man.
In the series, man. I feel like I had another bruh in me. I mean, listen, man. To keep from being down, wallowing in our own pain, sometimes you have to laugh at the pain of others. All right. Bruh pick goes to the Miami Heat.
Bruh.
Heat culture
hell yeah.
is officially 10 foot in the grave, finished, finito, kaput.
Cooked.
Cooked. All right. Tyler Hero, after this game 3 loss goes, we're not getting swept. We're not going to lose 4 games straight. And guess what happens?
Bruh.
You guessed it. He loses 4 games straight. And not only that, they lost by like the 4th largest margin in NBA history. I think it was like 53 points they lost by. Yeah, losing a closeout game by 53 points. Embarrassing. So, Pat Riley, Miami Heat, time to hang up the sneakers, blow up the team, move we don't have to move Miami, you're already there. Just retire and just sit outside, I guess. Heat culture is over. Time to just move on.
Yeah, I saw a stat that their 137 defensive rating is the worst defensive rating in NBA playoff history. So that effort to me dictates a complete blow up. I think it's time for Riley to retire, and trade Bam, trade Hero, try to collect some pits, man. It shows the importance of Jimmy. And what Jimmy, both his impact can be seen in what happened in Miami after he left, and what happened in Golden State after he arrived. Look at Golden State about to upset the number 2, 3 seed in Houston Rockets. That shows the impact of Jimmy Butler. I've never liked him, but I've always respected him. And the way that was handled in Miami, I think affected them as a free agent destination. It reflected their legitimacy for their culture, which is what they got free agents on. And now they don't really have any young players with really high upside or any veterans that are so young where they still have a ceiling to be met. I think Hero and Bam are maxed out. So what you have is what you have. Kind of make the call or blow it up and try to start over.
Absolutely, absolutely. Felicia says they lost by 55 points. My bad, Felicia. 55 points. Felicia also says, jealous, Love and Spolstra said, we've been humbled. Yeah, for real. Oh, also, bro, shout out to my boy Sean, who is a longtime Heat fan. He's been trolling me for the last few years, who said, oh, yeah, we'll trade Jimmy Butler and we'll be better for it. Don't worry. Watch, it's going to happen.
Bruh.
I don't think Wiggins.
Shout out to him.
I don't think Wiggins scored yesterday. I think he was like 0 for 5 or something.
Yeah. E-culture is finest. I'm not even gonna gloat today. I'm gonna wait till the next one to gloat. But all right. Yep. But Lee, let them know they can find you, Lee.
On Twitter at _ Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO.
All right. John B on TikTok once asked me, who's winning 100 men versus one gorilla?
Is that John Baines? I'm main man, bro. The gorilla. Have y'all seen Congo? It's the gorilla, man. Come on.
The gorilla is winning. Bro, put to anybody who really feels like 100 men is gonna beat a gorilla. Bro.
Unless one of the dudes is Mitchell Robinson, then the humans have a chance.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe if Mitch is playing and there's a basketball game. But other than that,
I love Mitch, man.
I don't know. one gorilla versus 100 Mitches. You might have a shot. All right.
Yeah. I think that I put my money on the Mitch.
Yeah, for real. Facts. Oh, Gamer Channel gives you $20.
What?
Did Carl Anthony Towns have 2 blocks tonight? Because he did vow to donate $10 per Carl Anthony Towns block. So it might not just because he's happy, because he's honoring his word. So shout out to Gamer Channel, who says tough loss tonight, but Knicks have 2 more chances at it. Let's go. I agree. We got 2 more chances. Let's go. All right, yo. Yeah, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah. I already asked you where you can find you, right, Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Don't find me tonight. Find me tomorrow when I'm cheered up.
All right, there you go. Finally. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick Of Time Show on Instagram, the Knick Of Time Show on Facebook as well. You also can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. If you want to listen to our Knicks breakdowns, find us on those platforms and listen to us talk Knicks. Okay? All right, yo. That is the show. Thank you guys for watching. And tonight, more than ever,
shout out the World Wide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
it's an absolute mess out here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. We out of here. Knicks in 6. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.